Welcome back, Twisters. Nick here, and today I'm going to be talking about the hockey arenas I could possibly visit in 2021-2022. So I've compiled a list of 10 arenas, NHL and otherwise. I'm going to tell you a little bit as to how likely I think it is that I go to visit that arena. And then that way, if you're in that area, I will definitely be sure to announce that in a separate video, and then if we want to do some sort of meetup, we can maybe make that possible as well. I know there's not a whole mess of you, but nonetheless, maybe I could connect with some of you guys in person. That would be fantastic. Now, in selecting my arenas, I did consider the COVID-19 pandemic, and as a result of that, I have left off Canadian venues. However, if the border opens back up, there are a few nearby, or somewhat nearby, that I could definitely consider attending. So these are sort of my honorable mentions here. So first and foremost, Rogers Arena in Vancouver, the home of the Canucks, and that is about like a 7.5 hour drive from where I am in North Idaho. So I would definitely consider going there. I've never really explored Vancouver itself. I've been to Victoria and I've been to Whistler. I love those places, but I do want to see the city of Vancouver at some point. So if they do open up the border, then you could probably see me at a Canucks game in 2021-22. Number 2 on that list is the Scotiabank Saddledome. I mean, I could probably, switch the rankings there. Home of the Calgary Flames, of course. I definitely want to go see Banff and Jasper because that area is supposed to be just majestic. And I do know a couple of content creators in that vicinity as well, so I'd like to especially pay them a visit if possible. So that's number 2. Number 3, well, we don't know who the team is just yet, but it's the Abbotsford Centre in Abbotsford, British Columbia, near Vancouver. They're going to be the home of the Canucks AHL team. They're moving from Utica, New York. So really, they're in that same vicinity as well. So there's a remote possibility, most certainly. And then maybe a WHL arena north of the border. You got plenty of teams that aren't that far away between, especially British Columbia and Alberta. There are a couple other teams further away. I probably wouldn't see them. But a team in those 2 provinces I just mentioned, yeah, that's a possibility. All right, so now my 10 American arenas that I could see myself attending this upcoming season. Probably not going to hit all 10 of them. It would be pretty epic if I did nonetheless. So here are the definite yeses, okay? So first of all, of course, SAP Center, home of my favorite team, the San Jose Sharks. Now that I live in North Idaho, at some point, I need to go back to the Bay Area, see some friends and family over there and, visit the old haunts, get a La Vix burrito, of course, before the game. And so I could potentially see the San Jose Sharks and the Barracuda, especially if there are, full capacity crowds or near that. I absolutely want to be there to experience that. For me, it's already been almost a year and a half since I went to a Sharks game, so it would be quite meaningful to be back in that building with my peeps, you know what I mean? Number 2, you see the jersey behind me here, that is the Spokane Chiefs. They play at Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena, so they already have opening night set for October 2nd, I want to say, and they're just about 35 minutes away, 40 minutes away from where I live, so I'll be going to plenty of games there, especially if we get news as to certain prospects coming out of that organization. So I definitely want to go check them out. The locals here say that it's a really fun time. That arena can actually fit 10,000 plus for hockey. So it'd be very, very exciting to see them and kind of warm up to the hockey season and then go, to some other arenas for NHL clubs. Number 3, it's the team I'm wearing here, the Seattle Kraken at Climate Pledge Arena. So I think it's pretty certain that I do go to a game, even though tickets are going to be expensive or, not too easy to get a hold of. But nonetheless, I absolutely want to go. It's about a 5-hour drive from where I am. And I don't want to just go for my own personal enjoyment, but it might actually tie in with what I'm doing with thehockeywriters.com. So be sure to follow me on Twitter if you're interested in the Kraken, because I and some of my colleagues there are putting out articles on the regular about Seattle, the 32nd NHL franchise. So don't miss that. Excited to see what the fan experience is like there and maybe go to a Seahawks game or go see the Sounders or something like that, because Seattle can be quite the loud and proud sports town out there. Absolutely. And then number 4, this is Idaho Central Arena, which is the home of the Idaho Steelheads of the ECHL. So they're actually at the other part of the state in Boise. I know if I'm a real local, I'd say Boise, but it just doesn't sound right. So anyway, they're down in Boise, but I do have some family ties down there now, something that I had no idea about before I moved to the Gem State, but I would be very excited to visit my second ECHL arena out there. Of course, I have been to the what is it now? I forget, Amway Center, or at least that's what it has been. That's where the Orlando Solar Bears play. So the next team I want to see in the ECHL in person is without question the Idaho Steelheads. All right, now we're going to look at 3 likely arena visits. So fairly good possibility here. So first of all, Toyota Center. That is the home of the Tri-City Americans of the WHL. That's about a 3-hour drive from me, and it's actually en route to what I usually would drive if I drove back to where I come from, essentially. So the Americans, that is where Carey Price actually played juniors, and it's owned by Stu Barnes and Olaf Kolzig. So there are definitely strong NHL ties there, and it's a really small community comparatively to like Spokane or like where the Seattle Thunderbirds play. So I imagine that it's really fun seeing all the locals kind of pack in for those games. Would like to go check it out at some point. One of my buddies in town is from that area as well, so maybe we'd hit that together. Number 2, you see the Getzlaff jersey behind me here. It's the Honda Center. So there's a fairly good chance that I'll go down to Orange County toward the end of the year. Not set in stone by any means, but if I'm going to any NHL arena other than San Jose and Seattle, it's probably going to be Anaheim, assuming they're in town when I'm in town. But this kind of piggybacks onto the next one. If they're not in town, I would go see the Los Angeles Kings at Staples Center. I have been to Staples Center before. However, that was for a Pac-10, when it was the Pac-10, Pac-10 basketball tournament back in the days of, Aaron Aflalo, and was Kevin Love playing? He might have been. So I went to that many, many years ago. So I haven't been to the Staples Center ever since. So I could at least see myself seeing either the Kings or the Ducks in person. Probably not AHL. Ontario is inland of LA. There really isn't all that much to see right there. And then the AHL team for the Ducks, the Gulls, they play in San Diego. So that's a bit of a trek as well. So more likely that I would see one of the 2 NHL teams, if not both. I would be down for that as well. And then these are my 3 less likely options here. So this would be me getting on a plane to go travel and visit somewhere. And I thought about the arenas that are going to most likely be open to full crowds. So ones that are in the Sun Belt and have been having fans during the regular season as well. However, the first option I want to talk about, it's not necessarily the case, and that is Capital One Arena, home of the Washington Capitals. So I put this arena on this list because one of my best friends lives in that area. My grandmother lives not too far away from that as well. So I'd like to go out there and spend some time and, obviously see Ovechkin, Backstrom, Oshie, assuming that Ovechkin signs with Washington and Oshie stays with them. And just take that in, of course. So that would certainly be on my list. The next one I want to name is PNC Arena, home of the Carolina Hurricanes. I just really admire what this team has done over the last few years. I've been high on Carolina since they brought in Brind'Amour, and I saw the emergence of Jacob Slavin as an elite defenseman in the NHL. They've got lots of great talent on this team. I picked them before this past season to win the Stanley Cup. They ran into Tampa and did not succeed there. But nonetheless, I would love to do that. I've never been to North Carolina. It'd be kind of cool to maybe see the coast if possible. I know that that's a bit of a drive. Also, I'd like to go see Chapel Hill because I grew up loving North Carolina basketball. So, and of course, let's not forget, come on, Carolina-style pulled pork. Yeah, I'd like to actually enjoy some of that from the source. And the last arena that I want to mention is the BB&T Center. That is the home of the Florida Panthers in Sunrise, a suburb of Miami. I myself have never been to Miami, so I want to check that out. It's probably culturally one of the most unique cities you'll find in the country, I'd say, along with a place like New Orleans. So I certainly want to go there. And yeah, of course, with these experiences, I would do some vlogging and show you around, the cities and the destinations that I go to, not just the hockey games themselves, and hopefully meet up with some of the Twisters out there. I think we'd have a lot of fun with that. So anyway, guys, what arenas, what hockey venues would you like to attend this upcoming season? Let's just pretend that COVID isn't as much of a factor and you actually have a chance to watch some hockey in person. You guys let me know down in the comments below. And of course, I'll keep you updated as I start making plans for these sorts of things. And who knows, maybe I can shake a few hands and talk some hockey with you guys. That'd be fantastic, face to face. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't already. I'll catch you Twisters around for a lot more content as we head into the off season. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Once again, I'm Nick, and I hope that's not my car. I'll catch you Twisters later. Ciao.